One side wants to pay very little tax, the other side just wants to tax the rich again and again and again.
So we can all agree that social housing is a good thing, Adam. But what about the way that Mamdani is planning to fund it? Is that practical?
Well, there's been a reported spike in super prime property interest in London, which has been on its absolute knees for the past 6 months since the election of Mamdani. So obviously, some of the Americans are thinking they'd be better off across the pond than they would moving over to the west coast of the United States. Or perhaps they're thinking this is the direction of travel anyway, and California's equivalent to New York politically anyway. So where are you going to take it from? There's always that argument of the people with the broadest shoulders, as Mr. Starmer would say, bearing the burden. But are they already taxed enough? And that's something key that's not really talked about by either side of the debate. One side wants to pay very little tax, the other side just wants to tax the rich again and again and again. But unfortunately, the biggest players in the world are already very, very mobile and will frankly live and do what they want. So in reality, you'd be better off to place a consumption tax or an income tax across the board where everybody contributed to a better, in this case, New York City and New York State in the long run.
Okay, so your principle is that you think that this cannot just land on a small group of people because it's too much of a big problem. Everybody's got to tuck in, right?
Absolutely.